Start recording. Start broadcasting. Hello and welcome to today's episode of Shanahanigans Live, your number one source for all the latest and newest in video game news on this E3 special weekend, Electronic Entertainment Expo. I'm just getting it in. Yes, a new game has been announced.
What?
You've heard it here first, folks. It'll be on all platforms that play video games. Welcome to the show. Katie's here.
What's up?
I'm here. And our correspondents are at E3. Yes. They're playing video games and I'm not. So, excellent update on that.
Who's there that we know right now?
The Faux Show is there.
Faux Show.
He's Cafoing it on the game front. And he's played, yes, he's played
That was a good one.
the Wii U. That's what I meant to say. That was the original code name for it.
What's the Wii U?
The Wii U, let's just post out the chat here. Where is the chat? Pop out the chat. The Wii U is I don't know how to explain it. It's like this weird successor to the Nintendo Wii, and it's supposedly a next-gen system, but it's the Wii, but it's got a screen, which is cool and all, but it's the Wii. I don't know what it is.
So it's a game? It's a handheld
device? No, yes and no. It is two worlds.
A remote controller, or is it a...
combined. Recently, they announced it could turn on your TV, so that's good.
Oh.
So you don't have to go through the drudgery of finding the remote or turning on the TV.
That drives me crazy.
Yeah, I hate when I want to watch TV and I have to turn it on. I'm like, oh.
Why even bother?
Why should I? I came to relax and have to work. If only there were a way that this wireless device could turn, like a remote of some sort, could turn on my TV. Nintendo has a way.
They have a remote.
Yes,
that
Nintendo
you can control
now has a
remotely.
screen that you could turn on your TV.
So you can control it remotely, you say?
Yes.
Wow.
Almost like a control remote.
What? I've been waiting for these since 1984.
But in all seriousness, the Wii U does have a lot of interesting potential. It's just their press conference didn't really do too good of a job of showing that, unfortunately.
Was it like yours? It's a thing!
Pretty much.
You can play with it.
It's kind of like that.
Aren't you excited?
Yeah. So E3 is going on right now. I've been kind of following it. Lots of interesting stuff going on. We'll talk about that in a bit. This is a show about arts and creativity, and video games is a part of that, is it not? So we're allowed to talk about that.
Yeah, it's creative.
Meanwhile, what are you up to? What are you doing?
I just got in the mail these book plates from Cal for the Cautionary Fables and Fairy Tales. There was a Kickstarter prize where everybody got book plates, so they're being sent around and we're all signing them all. So.
I guess I'll have to stick around after the show.
Yeah.
So, Black Ice Angel says, my sister wandered off with the remote the other day, so we had to walk up to the TV to turn it on and let her watch Elmo.
Tricky.
You have to teach her. It's like, well, you took the remote, so no more Elmo. you better find it. Go get it.
Controlled by the remote.
Go get the remote. And they will learn. Yes, so we're doing plates. Not really much to show you guys right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at the signings, I guess. But...
Yeah, let's watch Katie's side.
Well, see, here's one with the lovely signatures. Where is it?
Built a knife. Switch into camera 2.
Let's see this works. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And here are all the names of the creators that made stories. And then there's our little Tatterhood.
Yeah. So if you haven't checked it out yet, check out the Cautionary Fables and Fairy Tales book. It sells really well at cons, so you want to get your own.
That's con hotcakes.
Yeah, it's con hotcakes at the con and at E3. If you're there and you need something to read, you can order a copy too if you look up CFFT on Big Cartel. Big Cartel. You can order a copy, get it sent to you, and you can read it with your hands and your eyes, which is good for it. Let's see. It was hidden in the bathroom door. Behind the bathroom door, says Black Ice Angel. I'm glad you found it. Mystique says hello all. I respond with my hello to you too.
Hello.
How you guys all doing this fine day? It was a fine day and it started to rain. That's great. It rained all weekend. But it didn't rain. Well, no, it did rain on my birthday, did it? It sort of rained. Maybe it did. My birthday came by. It was pretty fun. I'm all old.
I missed that party. I came for the after burlesque Nintendo party, which was super fun. But describe the party itself, because I wasn't there.
The people were over. Oh, God. Kristen got me a cake, and it's still in the fridge.
Oh, nice. It was BYO everything, right?
No,
Your own snacks.
I provided.
You did?
Usually I do.
Because it was a tea party, and I remember seeing this Facebook. I only have Earl Grey.
No, it was orange Pico.
That's it.
And we didn't even make that. It was a tea party, and I didn't even make tea. But I made daiquiris, so that kind of,
Daiquiri teas.
Real frozen fruit daiquiris. I learned to make the simple syrup. It's a bartending trade. All you gotta do is you can either do like half and whole or equal parts, but I just did equal. So I did equal sugar, equal water. You put the water in the pan and you steep it, put it up to like 5, 6. Get a little warm, melt the sugar in it, and then it becomes like a syrup. And then you just save it. And just pour that into your blender, and then you got simple syrup for whatever mix you want to make. Goes well with amaretto sours, maybe, I guess. Yeah. I've got to think of amaretto now, too.
Delightful.
But yeah, it was a get together, kind of keep it simple, a little shindig. Had not even corn dogs, pogos.
Not even corn dogs.
Not even corn dogs. We had pogos for this party.
So that's classic birthday party snack.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And I actually bought all these other foods that I just didn't get around to making. We had mini pizzas, which I didn't make, and I had all these burgers and buns. I didn't make.
Well, you're having a horrible movie night.
Yeah, I'm saving it up for another event. So hopefully we'll have more food. Not even real pogos, says Flux. Yeah, I know. They weren't even real pogos. They were the non-named wieners on a stick.
Fantastic.
Meat on a stick. Choice select prices.
Fantastic.
Then afterwards, we dragged as many people whose girlfriends didn't say no to the Smash Bros. Burlesque, the Super Smash Burlesque.
There was nothing inappropriate about that.
There's
Everybody
nothing
had tassels.
inappropriate
You didn't see any.
about girls dressed as video game characters stripping.
Not at all.
It was one hell of a show.
Fun.
It was the underground at the Underground Cinema. It was the Underground Peep Show. They do a bunch of like nerd-based burlesque shows. And this was based on Mario and Nintendo and Zelda and Star Fox. It was quite a time. If you want to check it out yourself, you can see the highlight reel that they put up on Vimeo. So just look up, go to the Underground Peep Show whatever. I don't know what their website is. Mm-hmm. But it was a fun show. Lots of fun acts, lots of insanity. I got a shout out from Barely Legal Lelando,
who did a fantastic chic.
Who did a fantastic
set.
chic.
Yeah.
This is Toronto. He's a good guy. And got all running
How
around.
does he move in those heels?
I don't know.
I would not dare wear those things.
He's better at heels than most ladies
stage.
I know. He's quite at the time. But there's lots of different acts. Like there's Mario and Wario's and Star Fox and there's some Chrono Trigger. There was Metroid. Yeah, it was a time.
There was the cutest Yoshi dance.
Oh yeah. There's a Yoshi Mario Kart.
There's a cute Pikachu turns into a Raichu dance.
That was cute too. Yeah. There's a Dry Bones. There's Link. Good show.
There was the hottest Jigglypuff ever. no, it wasn't Jigglypuff. It was Kirby. He was Kirby. That guy was fantastic.
So check that out for yourself. It was a time. And they announced a new show coming up, which is Nightmare Before Stripmas, a Tim Burton themed burlesque that's bound to be a time also. If you want to check that out, that'll be coming up at the Toronto Underground Cinema in the next 3 months or so here in Toronto. I'm just getting more updates from the show floor at E3. Yes. Okay, a new game with guns has been announced. It's from the first-person perspective, and there is multiplayer. So look forward to that coming next fall. Check that out. Shooter game. What else we got going on? What have you been up to this past week?
Me? Well, I gotta say it's been a pretty rough week up until yesterday. We were getting ready for a storyboard pitch, so tension was high.
What goes into a storyboard pitch?
Essentially, it's you're
we
presenting.
We are a learning show.
Well, what I do, I work doing storyboards. So essentially, storyboards. If you don't know what storyboards are, it's the rough plan of what the animated show is going to be, and it's pretty tight when it's TV because you need to have all your acting down, you need to have all your angles down, characters need to be pretty tight. Whereas in some other like movie boards, you can be a little bit looser because you can interpret it a bit more. Anyway, you have to be pretty tight with it. But with this pass, we were pitching our roughs to see if the director and client liked them, and it was a little nerve-wracking because it was our first pitch for the entire show. So
did you guys just like hand it in, or did you put it
no.
up on a board, or did you like?
We put it up on a screen, and essentially you are showing the panels and acting while you're showing the action in the panels, and they loved it. So it went really good.
Well done. There you go.
Yeah, and then just yesterday to celebrate, because we haven't had a weekend in a long time. Jerry and I went to go hang out at the beaches and just relax.
Oh, okay.
And then
cool.
today,
Did you
same
go
thing,
to,
just relaxing.
Was it the TNT Market? Get a little.
No.
Some buns. No.
No, we went to Cobb's Bakery.
Oh.
No. I mean, it was the touristy end of the beaches. No, it wasn't Cherry Beach. It was further out.
Oh. Well, if you went out that way, you should have gone to they have like the European chocolate shop out there.
Yeah. No, actually, we went by it. We were gonna go on the way back, but we forgot.
Get your Turkish delight.
It's called the Nutty Chocolatier. I walked by and the window was broken, and there was a sign.
Some people hate chocolate.
Well, there was a sign that was like, "See how much people want to get our chocolate. Get it before it's too late."
Oh yeah.
Because someone had broken the glass.
That's turning a bad thing into a not bad thing.
Yeah, that was cute.
It's probably a better way to say that. But lemons into limeade.
Yep.
Something like that. This just in from the show floor at E3. Yes, a sequel has been announced. Okay, good. So look forward to that coming up next season. Speaking of games, actually, I watched the trailer for Wreck-It Ralph. They just released it. Yeah. Disney released it. So essentially, it's kind of pitched as video games Toy Story, you know. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, let's go into the world of games. It's actually pretty novel just for that long, because the scene opens up and you see like a lot of familiar characters, and there's like the premise being Wreck-It Ralph is basically a Donkey Kong style game where he's this big brutish guy in like, you know, the 1920s, 40s, was it like steel building era? People are building buildings.
New York getting built.
Yeah, and then there's this guy called Fix-It Frank or something, and Ralph breaks buildings in this game while you are Frank and fixing it. And he's like basically now tired of always being the bad guy, and he's at this like Bad Guys Anonymous meeting, and you see like M. Bison, Zangief, cool. Bowser, Robotnik or Eggman, whoever it is, cool. Orange Ghost. It's just like it's a treat, because you see like in like really nice cartoony, you know, Disney / Pixar-esque, I don't know, Tangled quality, all these video game characters, and you're like, oh shoot, there they are, and talking and things. So for that, you know, I'm interested to see where it goes. They got like Q*bert and probably a lot of Pac-Man references and stuff.
Oh yeah, there was a cute thing.
And essentially, Ralph leaves his game and he bounces around to all these other games. So we're gonna see. This is really gonna be like a big fanboy trip.
Yeah, there's one that looks like it's some kind of battle Halo thing. It's more.
It looked a lot more like Mass Effect to me. But
was it? Okay, I don't know.
Maybe. It's going to like kind of occupy the space super stick shooter thing, though, most likely. So I'm curious about it for that. I'm hesitant slightly, mainly just because of the plot. Like once again, like I'm totally stoked to see like something finally based on video games. Like let's get a little more video game in our culture and stuff. I'm always worried about the kind of I want plots, which seem to come out of a lot of animation where it's just like, you know, like that Igor movie comes out and it's all like, all the Igors are like, ugh, we're always doing Igor things. I want to be the scientist. And then they turn it around to wacky music, and it's like that kind of deal. And I'm worried that Wreck-It Ralph is going to be kind of just another one of those.
But that's a life thing, isn't it?
I know,
not
but like,
just to be content.
Just sitting there, I can only see like two endings for the movie. It's like, one, he becomes the hero of a game. Or two, the more surprising ending is he goes back and is like, you know what, I belong here with you guys.
This is my place in the world.
You know,
yeah.
It would be the more rare ending. But like, and on the way over here, I started thinking about, like, I know a lot of people talked about in the mid-90s, late 90s, Disney, like, everyone had the I Want song. But like, moreover, it was I Want plots. So you look at Little Mermaid, and she basically says, I want to be where the people are, see them dancing. I want to live...
She just wants to see people dance.
I want to be part of your world. And the movie ends, she's a part of their world. So she basically got exactly what she wanted. Prince, live above the world, good to go. Aladdin, he's like looking at this castle being like, oh, that'd be nice. I'd like to live in there, not worry about stuff. End of the movie, he is now in a goofy striped hat, riding a carpet, presumably. He lives in the castle. He got exactly what he wants.
I like how you make like reference to his like purple yellow striped outfit. I was like, what is with that outfit?
Yeah, well, they never brought it back. He didn't like always wear it in the TV series.
Yeah, he becomes a prince, right? And then it's like in the TV series, he's always running around in his beggar clothes.
Well, because technically he wasn't a prince until the third movie when they're finally
it's like, we
married.
can't actually give you money.
Yeah.
You're still in the same outfit.
Yeah, it's like, I'm
wear
sorry,
every
Aladdin.
day.
You know, I know you live around here and we got like plenty of things. We have so much things. You grew up with nothing, and we have everything.
It's like they buy him a whole bunch of the exact same outfit.
It might.
Rich.
It's like Doug's closet. It's like we got you more of what you wear.
Yeah.
You know, or it could be more of like, you know how what's his face from Avatar, Korra. He has that red scarf because it's like his dad's or something like that.
Is the whole outfit his dad's? Because he never changes
Maybe the whole outfit is Aladdin's dad's, and they're like, "Oh, we'll fix you up." He's like, "No!" He's like, "This was my dad's." All of it. There's one zipper. The vest and everything come as a package.
But he meets his dad in the third movie.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome.
And is it
John
Liam
Ryan's
Neeson?
Davey, wasn't it?
Oh, it was.
Wasn't it?
Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Why was it Liam Neeson?
That'd be great if it was though. But to continue, so like a lot, even to a degree, like Lion King was like, one day I'm gonna rule it all, and he does, you know.
Well, he was a prince. It was gonna happen.
I know. But I'm just saying, like this whole I want plot. So I'm sitting there watching this Wreck-It Ralph trailer, and I'm like, I want to be like crazy optimistic for it, but I just worry that it's either just gonna end like, and then he became a hero. You know, basically this is also going back to like Ants, which Woody Allen doesn't want to be a worker and he wants to be a warrior. And he eventually gets to be the warrior because he wanted to change in life, kind of.
Yeah.
Now, alternatively, there's some movies that take this plot a little differently. Like Monsters, Inc., I think is brilliant because he started off on top. When they were concepting it, I was watching behind the scenes of Monsters, Inc., and Sully was originally going to be the I want guy. He was going to be the monster with glasses. Like, one of these days, I won't just be a mopper, I'll be a big monster. And he gets it. That was the original plot. But they changed it to be he is on top at the very beginning. And he gradually learns through the story he wants something different. Like it wasn't even that he wants something different. It is he learns what's more important. Mm-hmm. And that was really interesting as a plot.
Yeah, because he wasn't a character that needed to learn anything. Because he was a good guy to start with.
And you think that would be like a bad thing in writing because it's like, well, if your character has nothing to learn, then they need things to strive for.
But it's like because of the content of his nature, it's when the company he loved ended up being something a little bit suspect. He was able to, because he's a good guy, know what's the right thing to do.
And Mike was the guy who was so hung up on being first. And it's like, we're going to keep being first. And when Boo shows up and challenges that, he's quick to want to get rid of her. Mm-hmm. But Sully's the one who's like, we got to help her. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think Monsters, Inc. is one of the better of the last decade or so of stories as far as like what characters strive for. Because it's like, when your plans change, what do you do? So it's that's what I'm curious to see what route Wreck-It Ralph goes with. So it's gonna be like big fun to see Ralph enter all these video game inspired worlds. We're all gonna go freaking nuts when we see like Pac-Man and Street Fighter characters.
So many cameos.
I saw like an over shoulder of like Chun-Li walking with someone down the stairs. I forget who it was, but I'm like, oh my god, Chun-Li in a Disney movie? This is really crazy. Like this is like on the level for me of like Roger Rabbit, of having like all the Warner Bros. And Harvey. Well, was it Harvey cartoons? I guess. Warner Bros. Not Tex Avery, but they had the dog. Well, where's Droopy Dog from? Is he Harvey? He's not Harvey.
That is Harvey Toons.
I guess.
Yeah.
Not sure. But like them and Disney and Warner all together.
I think it's Harvey
Toons.
And
it's like, and you're getting this kind of thing with, this movie where we have like, Sega characters, Nintendo characters, Capcom characters. I saw Kano from Mortal Kombat in the bad guy room just off the edge of the camera. So it's fun to see them all in the same room. We got Master Stealth saying how they license all those characters. I'm assuming like it's probably similar to how.
Well, Disney owns.
No. As far as the game characters, like putting them all in the same place, I assume is similar to like how commercial licensing works. Because I recently watched this commercial that was a year old called it was the Michael commercial for Sony. Mm-hmm. I posted it on my Tumblr if you follow it. Look up Shaggy's Mind Sauce, and. It was basically this commercial that was, just a campaign for Sony in general. They were premiering the kind of like Long Live Play brand. And the commercial basically is a bar, but it's like the video game. It's like this old rustic bar, but it's filled with video game characters live action. So Drake from Drake's Fortune, Lightning from Final Fantasy 13 is there. There's there's an Ezio there. There's a Portal, girl from Portal runs out. People from Call of Duty, people from like what I'm saying is some of these games were like God of War and Little Big Planet and Twisted Metal. They're like first party PlayStation characters, but they also had Ezio. They had Chell from Portal. They had couple other characters who aren't specific.
Wait, what was this in?
This is just a weird, really well done, interesting commercial called Michael. I posted about it. It's a PlayStation commercial that's just like all these guys show up to a bar and talk about their great battles and how Michael was there for and won it for them all.
Oh, and Michael's
he's
the
basically
player.
the nerdy kid who like the bartender's like, "We're doing it for Michael," and he puts up this picture of this guy.
That's cute.
And check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Look up PlayStation Michael ad.
That's really cute.
And so, but the point is, the branding of that was they had characters that weren't all Sony together in one room. Like, Ezio from Assassin's Creed is a multi-platform. And Chell from Portal, it's a multi-platform game, but they're all there. So I'm assuming if similar channels happen to make Disney able to do this with Capcom, with classics like Q*bert and I'm assuming Pac-Man. And all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting, and there's probably going to be a Tron snuck in there somewhere. They got to like put Tron in Wreck-It Ralph somehow. I'd be curious, or at least like the machine will be in the background in the arcade scenes or something like that. If you haven't seen it yet, check out the Wreck-It Ralph trailer. It's like opened by John C. Reilly saying, "Hi, watch the movie," and then it starts showing you some delightful animations. But that's my analysis of the plot.
Cute.
How else could it end, do you think? Like him becoming the hero of his game, or him accepting his place in life? Is there any other endings? Or
you just keep searching forever.
he just wanders off in the internet, like it's Reboot or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like life.
You'll never find what you look for, Ralph.
The kid runs
Welcome to life.
The game gets retired.
Yeah, the game gets corrupted. It just ends depressing. You're like, holy crap, Disney added weight to this film. It was just like in a Toy Story, but they went the other way.
Yeah.
Like, if they could get tears, if Pixar could get tears with toys about to die,
Disney will make you cry.
Ralph will die. He will be game over corrupted. And he's all like pixel freaking out. Like, his pixels are disappearing, and he's like, "Fix it, Frank. Follow your dream." And it goes, whoa. It's all sad. And it's like, the end.
There you go.
You're like, wow. That went completely not how I expected.
Yep.
It'd be that kind of thing. Let's see. Ink Blotch says, turns out he's the player. And
oh, that's a good twist.
What a twist.
What's a twist?
What was there? Shag, is your shirt the monsters for Sesame Street? It's the aliens. Yep. Yep. And he's attacking a city. Yep. That kind of deal. Let's jump back into was there anything else going on in the chat? I assume just a big cliff, like, it's pretty good alien Disney license. It's good. Cool. Well, that's all I gotta say about Wreck-It Ralph. Anyone else see the trailer? What do you guys think? Check it out. It's fun. Once again, my concern is just the plot kind of just being like, I want to be a hero, and then he becomes a hero, and you're like, all right, he's a hero. Enjoy the journey, I suppose. But it's just like, if at the end of the journey is just like a log you trip over. It's like, it's a good journey, guys.
What would satisfy you?
I don't know. That's the thing. It's like, because I'm just like, I feel like I'd be more satisfied if the ending was, he's like, you know what, fix it, Frank, let's do this. But 16-bit, and then they go Super Nintendo, and then it's all, wow, and they put on sunglasses. Because then it's like, get in or get out, wow, Sega does what Nintendo. And it's just like...
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Sega does what Nintendo.
That was Sega's...
Wow.
During the original console
That used to make you
wars,
so angry as a kid when you saw those
Genesis
anti-Nintendo
does.
commercials.
Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Wow.
And you're just like...
Why can't you be friends?
Yeah, because I was the kid who's just like, I own Super Nintendo, and it's pretty super swell. The only difference was Aladdin for Super Nintendo and Aladdin for the Genesis were two completely different games, because the one on Super Nintendo, he just threw apples.
All the time, apples?
And the one on Genesis, he had a sword.
Oh, they made it more badass.
And he can like cut the pants off of bad guys. Because that's all you do.
I like the apple throwing.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But I just like whip apples at people, like forever.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't defeat them.
Well, because you'd be fighting Jafar, you'd just be whipping apples at
like, die, Jafar!
Stupid snake!
Fun game, though, because it had like a mini game where you like ride the carpet ride and collect diamonds.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It's like totally the whole point of that scene isn't romancing the princess. It's get as many diamonds as you can.
Yeah, forget that. It's like, Jasmine, hold that thought.
Gotta help me get some.
He's like, I'm poor, Jasmine. Look at my clothes.
You wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't get it. This is what you want. This is freedom, Jasmine. This is the real world. Whole new world, my ass.
All of us are born rich.
Oh, I wish I had your problems.
I wish I could just marry a prince. Oh, boo-hoo.
If your dad could hook me up with someone, like, I'd be just stuck, like...
That's some Prince Ahmed. That guy was a jerk, but...
I'd be like, alright.
And that's why...
That's why Disney movies are fantastical and fun and no real issues come up.
Because everybody's so nice.
Yeah, it's all just so. Sega is pro blood, says Calhoun. They were, because that was the big deal, was when Mortal Kombat came out on Super Nintendo, we were like, we better make it sweat. And so when you tear someone's head off, they just sweat a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd be kind of sweaty after that. Maybe.
I get a little nervous if someone
little.
tore my head off. Oh boy.
Work up a little.
How am I going to explain this to the office?
Oh, gee. Hope I'm insured. Someone else suggested, where did I see it? TV Dinner says halfway through the movie, Ralph gets transported to modern day New York. Wacky hijinks ensure.
Yeah, that hasn't been done at all.
And then it becomes a fish out of water comedy.
How many characters go to Manhattan?
Well,
Let's tally this.
Didn't a dinosaur from Jurassic Park end up in downtown, like LA or something?
He ate a guy in a Blockbusters.
That is rough. Because I always, of any person who got eaten by something in a movie, that guy I always felt worse about.
I do, because he's at home, like...
He was just going about his day.
Want to go rent something.
You know, he's like, oh, I'm going out for a walk. Where are you going? For a walk! And he's going down the street, and he's got his problems.
He's still living at home with his mother.
The last thing he needs is a friggin' dinosaur to eat him.
Yeah, that's truly unfair.
Because you're like, what were the odds that today an extinct creature would be my end? It's like, oh, man.
It's a little unsettling.
Lord Philox says, hey guys, it's Phil from last week's episode mentioned. I stayed up till 1:53 a.m. My time just to say hi. Hello.
Excellent. Hello. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Like, 1:35. Where are you?
England. He's a lord.
Oh, okay. He's a lord, so yeah, it's Lord Phillock. Well, welcome, Lord.
Thank you.
3D Matt -1 says England. Boop, boop. Oh, he says. In Croatia, actually.
Oh.
Matt just got shot down.
Take that, Matt.
What else is going on in this world of delights? I'm trying to think if I hear any more E3 updates from the show floor. I'm thinking if I'm hearing them.
Anyone?
Does anyone else have any E3 updates from the E3 predictions up on the show floor? Whoop.
It's okay.
You sure?
No worries.
Okay, cool. I'm just getting this in from the show floor. Yes. A game will be released soon, and the DLC will come out on the day on the disc, so you can buy what you already bought physically. All right, excellent. Thanks for the update. Keep an eye out for that. On disc DLC is the future, and they will bank and rob our money any way they can. Nickel and dime, worse than airplanes do. Thank you, video game industry.
Tell me about airplanes.
Kellen says, cool, all the book plates are done. Well, done if
signed.
you don't think I should sign it.
Yeah, you still have to sign it. He's still going to sign it, yeah.
Maybe I'll sign it, maybe.
After the show.
That was an old username. I used the Gauntlet Legends in 2001. Oh, hey, video games. Says Lord Phillock. In this says, I saw a dude dressed up as Altair pumping gas next to me the other day.
I assume there was a
there
Comic-Con.
a thing going on? Or was
he
it just
like Altair? He sneaks up and fills people's gas tank and runs off.
That's a game. This is something that like Peter Molyneux would come up with, where it'd be like a game where you're secretly filling people's cars with gas and hoping they can.
He feels bad about assassinating.
Yeah. Why not? Well, that's the thing. Is like this year,
pay it forward.
Like every year, everything's all about the kill-ins. Like there's no other conflict resolution in video games. Rarely is without the kill-ins and the face plants and the headshots and the stabby stab. Like a lot of neck stabbing this year. That's the big deal. Lara Croft stabbing necks. Sam Fisher stabbing necks. Altair stabbing necks. Mm-hmm. You know what's next? More stabbing necks. That's what's going on in this year's E3. Prediction. Stabbing next. The video game. There you go. See? It's that kind of thing. So like alternative conflict resolution has always been an interesting thing. There was people trying to do a lot of this with these like indie games. There's one that was like the game was you're just social. I forget what it's called. There's this game where you visit a couple, and you can either help them stay together or break apart. And it's just like this writing game where you like write conversations. If you say inappropriate stuff, they escort you out of their apartment. So like, don't hit on them while the other is in the other room.
But you can help break them up.
Basically, I forget what it was called, but it was this interesting game. Yes. Coming up here next time, running Face Aid. TV Dance's Face Aid. I don't know if that's what I was talking about. Maybe it was. But yeah, so there's a lot of like attempts to make like alternative conflict resolutions, and you know usually games that don't have those kind of conflicts are usually like sim style games or something like Animal Crossing, where your goal is just to hang out, like build up your house.
I like that game.
Plant some trees, give some gifts to your neighbors who then leave you gruff, you dick. Sorry, I'm bitter. He was one of the first 5, and he left. Not even saying a word. Hate that guy.
It's a goat.
Yeah, you got my goat all right.
No.
Nah, indeed. Oh man. What are you guys excited for? Coming up at E3. 'Cause, you know, it's still going on right now. It's what day is it today? Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
Really? It's all week long? Is it over? How long has it gone? I don't know.
It's only a week.
Well, either way, Vigima Games. Sarah says, hello. Sarah Lee.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going? Welcome to the show. I thought E3 was over. Is it over? No, and it says it goes forever. Either way, I guess the big, not really surprises, but the stuff that stood out for me, of course, is, was it The Last of Us, which is coming out. Basically, it's a post-apocalyptic, but more in that, you know, I Am Legend style, where it's all like greenery in the city and stuff. And you're this dude, and you're hanging out with Ellen Page, and you're trying to survive.
Oh yeah.
And she throws bricks at people. It's pretty great. And you punch people. Once again, you know, no conversations to like say, don't shoot us, and they'll be like, okay. But looks fun. Looks interesting. And the other big reveal was, actually pretty much the only big reveal, was Ubisoft with this Watch Dogs game, where the premise is you're a guy with a cell phone, and you can like hack into everything. So you can like turn off the lights.
Oh, I need one of those.
Yeah. So like there's a bunch of people, and you're like, lights off, and you turn off the lights, and they're like, whoa, guys, the lights are off. But there's more.
Party time.
There's more to that. There's multiplayer co-op supposedly, so you and your friends can turn off the lights.
Oh my
Gonna
god.
be, watch out. This is new multiplayer. Because like usually multiplayer is like you're going for the headshot.
That's why they
Here,
play the commercial where the kid's doing that, and then like mom turns the lights off in the garage. They're like, whoa.
oh, and the mom's like, just kidding. Do your homework. Watch Dogs. Coming out from Ubisoft. So that game looks interesting. Another game, yes, Beyond with Ellen Page. Because Ellen Page is in all the games. She's the new Mario. Ellen Page Golf is coming out.
Dr. Ellen Page.
There's power, Dr. Ellen Page puzzles. It's going to be great. But this one is basically, if you've ever played Indigo Prophecy or the more recent Heavy Rain, it's going to be kind of like that. Very cinematic, very story-driven, but with Ellen Page and a ghost. And they solve mysteries together in a van. It's a little more serious than that. It's probably closer to like Twin Peaks or something, but only because she's in like the country. And the police officer's like, ma'am, I found you. Do you speak English? Oh boy, it's gonna be a long night. And then the FBI show up and they're like, that's Ellen Page!
What's she doing in a video game?
What the hell? I wonder if she'll be in Wreck-It Ralph.
Probably.
Great.
There you go.
As Ellen
Bring
Page.
it all the way around.
Full circle. New character. Inhuman Robots says, yes, Among the Sleep looks awesome. Among the Sleep? The trailer scared me. I didn't see that. Wait, Among the Sleep. Do I know that? Is that the one where you're a baby and you crawl around and the scary stuff? I know there's a...
Really? That's pretty creepy.
Well, no, it's this game where it's like you're a baby and you're crawling around and then like the lights go out. Kind of like in Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa.
And mom goes, just go to sleep.
Go to bed, baby! Games. The conflicts in games are changing. I feel this. Less headshots, more of lights out, and bedtime.
Scary.
That's gonna be my new game, lights out, bedtime. And the game is this: you're a kid, and you're trying to like watch late night TV, but you gotta be careful because if it's too loud, your parents wake up and they put you to bed.
It's too
If
quiet.
it's too quiet, you don't get any of the jokes.
Exactly.
Because you're trying to watch South Park and it's mature for you. Basically, it's a game based on my childhood. They're trying to watch things at night. Oh shit! Don't watch too loud. Oh man, so that's my E3 wrap up. So I'm curious about the Wii U though.
Do you think you'd ever go to E3?
It sounds. I don't know if you could just go. Like, unless you got a press pass.
Kafo, how did you go?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious. I'm like, Kafo, he's amazing. No lie. But I don't know how he got in. Like, if he's just.
I think you can just go.
I don't think you can just go to E3 though.
Yeah.
No, you can't. Just
I mean, maybe
go.
he's press.
Maybe he's press. I mean, he's just awesome. Or industry pass. Yeah, he's industry.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I want to be industry. I want to be industry for a bunch of things. I want to be invited to things. You know, I want to be like that guy. Who's like, oh, you paid to come here?
I know.
Well, I don't want to be that guy to say that as me. But I want to be the guy who's like, I didn't pay to come here.
Well, hey, we're guests at Con Bravo.
Ooh, wait, no, you're a guest.
Okay. By proxy, though. By proxy, you also get to stand behind my table.
I have to do the panel. I got to do the workshop. Amateur voice acting experience returning this year for the 7th year, I think. Con Bravo. Over in Burlington, over in the barrels, if you want to learn what's it take to do amateur voice acting in your own house, you want to come to Con Bravo. I assume it's actually happening because they told me to submit the forms. I'm like, okay, and I did it the other day. So check that out. Look up Con Bravo. Big guest coming in. We got the Angry Video Game Nerd is going to be there.
Oh, no kidding.
Him. Yep. First Canadian appearance here
I didn't even know he was
Con
Canadian.
Bravo. He's not Canadian because otherwise every day is a Canadian appearance for him.
Okay.
First Canadian appearance for James.
When I go shopping, it's my Canadian.
I forget his last name. It starts with a G.
Cool.
Angry Video Game Nerd, among many other web personalities, will be there. I'll be loafing around somewhere.
I'll be there.
Katie will be there. I'm sure Matt might be there unless he's LARPing. Freaking Matt. Skip my birthday for LARP.
You skipped your birthday for LARP?
Yeah, who does that? Matt does that. That's who. I don't skip birthdays.
Aww.
This is really important. To skip it. LARP better be the most important thing in this world.
Well, maybe it was like a really important
Oh yeah,
story.
I'm sure Jericho needed his help. And his sword. And lightning bolts. Skip my birthday.
You should just go to LARP.
No. Never.
Done now.
No. I'm done. LARP has shunned me. The LARP didn't reach out a hand in peace. It was a slap.
I reached out a hand and slapped.
Flexbox says, come with me LARPing, bro. Only if there are functioning washrooms.
Yes.
That's my one condition.
Also, I don't like the idea that you can be attacked in your tent.
I don't mind that.
No, I kind
don't
of
mind
like
being attacked.
Once I'm in the tent,
In my tent.
I'm like out of the world. You can't just unzip it and throw
cast
lightning
your
bolts at
elf
me.
spell around for a fire barrier and be like, if you hear the zipper moving, you're like, you're on fire! Just wanted you to know that.
I don't want to wake up.
I'm on a fire barrier. You can be sleeping and saying it. You're dead! Go away.
Dad.
Trying to sleep. Sleep is for the weak. Every time I hear someone say Con Bravo, I hear Solid Snake in my head. Really? Awesome. Help me with this connection. Con Bravo.
Is that a thing?
Well, like there's Bravo, and like Alpha, Bravo, Cool Pants. I forget what all the call signs are for
There's a weird
military stuff.
light going across right
Really?
where my eyes are.
That's like the devious
See
side.
that? 'Cause I was like,
It's like the
it was
reverse
weird. I'm like, why is my
Godfather.
forehead so white?
The ones I go to, you have the option between tents or cabins, and all LARPs I play have showers and bathrooms. That's very nice.
Yay, I like that.
From what I hear, LARPing is like paintball, only worse, says Matt. Bear in mind, Matt hates everything, so take what he says with a grain of salt. He doesn't like anything deep fried, and I'm like, well, that's everything in my world.
How do you know?
So, I thought it was a tan line from Sunglasses, said Black Eyes Angel.
Yeah, it's like... Maybe I
And
should...
can you be attacked in the shower? Only if you want a water spell.
Wait, I see there's a thing there.
Oh, you found out what's up?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
the curtains are
doors.
dented. Fair enough, fair enough. What else we got going? I got nothing else right now. What did I do this week? I finally got back to a lot of like really old emails, which I've been really delaying on. But sometimes I don't get back to them, so that was exciting.
Also, we should just tell people to watch the show and we'll respond to them here.
What?
If people
So like I answer all your emails live on the show instead of answering them.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be a lot of personal information I'd be dishing out.
Well, that's personal questions.
Personal questions. What's coming up though? We got this conventions coming up. Oh, I like one or two things. Like pie, says Matt. He likes a few things. Oh, actually, there's a thing going on right now called the Tumbler Tour. It has nothing to do with Tumblr, though it does. It doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know Batman. He doesn't drive the Batmobile no more because that's just way too cartoony. You know, a man in a bat suit driving a Batmobile. Buh. We gotta make this realistic, Nolan styles. So he drives the Tumbler around. And speaking of tumbling around,
wait, it's called a Tumbler?
I think so, because there's a thing called the Tumbler Tour going on right now where all of Batman's crap is showing up all over the world. Right now it's in Toronto for the next few days. Toronto, Ontario. Look up the Tumbler Tour and you can go and check out the new Bat Tumbler and the bikes and stuff. Today I was over at Bay and some streets. I think by Friday it's going to be at Yonge and Dundas Square. Ooh. So if you're down that way you can check out the Batman's Tumbler.
Excellent.
His car. You can have fun looking at it. I don't think they'll let you in it. So I have no reason to go. We got Saturday. This is saying, are you guys going to come to Montreal this year?
Thinking about it.
Thinking
about it.
Yeah,
be nice.
See what happens.
We'd really like
there's
to.
Comic-Con Exposé.
Yes. Yeah. That's the one in September, right?
Maybe.
We'd really like to, but we've been doing a lot of traveling.
Yeah, we're kind of broke.
And I need to focus on work as well.
I need to find work. Last week's episode was find me a job. What'd you guys get?
Did you find work? Oh, it was their assignment.
Did you guys find me work? I did a job, guys. It's got to be in my field because I'm stubborn that way. Don't worry, I got some leads.
Do you?
Sort of. No. I just want everyone to feel good for me. So they're like, oh, don't worry. You'll make it through the year. Like,
you'll make it through the winter.
Oh, yeah, winter's coming.
Winter's coming.
Well, I finished season 1 of Game of Thrones. No spoilers, but...
I know.
Wow. I was all like, what? When that thing happened?
Yep.
I was like, nah. But then I was like, no.
Yep.
Oh, man, those who saw it, you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
But, man, you gotta watch Game of Thrones. Like, if you guys... I know, we don't all love this whole incest thing that's going around that show. But
I don't think anyone loves it.
Are you sure?
Per se.
Pretty sure George R.R. Martin guy is all
I think it's more just a character. I think it's like a just the characters that go for it are kind of the bad characters.
Oh, good, because it shows it's like when the bad kid in the movies does the drugs.
Yeah, when the bad kid
rides
his bike without a helmet
and does incest. Then you're like, that's a bad kid.
You shouldn't do that.
Don't do those things he does. Don't do what Donnie Don't does.
That's a good slogan.
Donnie Don't does his cousin.
I think at a certain point, though, with cousins, it becomes not so bad.
Oh yeah, no, it's cool after a while. It's like 2 or 3 out.
I don't know which one it's cool.
Oh man, it's like, son, I need to sit you down. All right, your cousin, your mom's sister's kid. No, that's wrong. But my cousin's kid, go nuts. Is this how they did in the medieval times? It's just like,
no.
Look.
There was a lot of. Well, no, it wasn't incest. It was just a lot of very close family ties.
Keep it in the family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my. Game of Thrones, everyone, check it out. Great show. But that ending, oh.
Yeah.
And the episode before that, oh.
Oof, tell me about it.
Oof.
Yeah.
You guys gotta check it out. Keeping up with the Korra, though. Damn.
Yeah, can we talk about Korra or people?
Yeah, are you guys up on your Korra?
Yeah.
Except for you, Matt. I know you're like...
I want to talk about it, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Matt hates Korra.
What? Screw you.
If he liked it, he'd watch it.
What?
Oh! Killhound said it, but I won't say it. This is not really spoiled, but it's like, oh!
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was like,
The animation's really cool. She's pretty fierce.
Yeah.
Cora is.
She's pretty rough housing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She kind of comes in and goes for the throat.
She's doing it for the kill, doing it for the thrill.
Yeah.
Hope you'd understand. How's that song go?
You are the wind beneath my wings.
Yes. Sat on the roof.
And I kicked
Just
off
like
Mars.
Oh, man, that Cora. How can we be a show about, like, animation?
How
if
can
we
we
can't
talk
talk
anything?
about
We
it?
can't talk about anything. It's like, no spoilers.
It's like, did you guys hear the
It's
latest
like,
E3?
so I watched Children of Men today. No spoilers!
Did you guys hear the latest E3? It's like, I didn't hear it yet. Don't tell me.
Well, I'm hearing a lot of mixed reactions about the Lara Croft trailer.
Oh, that's funny, actually. Okay, as I posted recently, Lara Croft is the most durable hero ever. Because she crashes into everything. And at the end of it, she's like, oh,
Oh, bollocks.
bloody hell.
Kind of hurts a little bit.
It's got a tingle. Little.
Was that good,
Blimey.
Matt? Was that sort of...
Bloody nuts. Bash me elbow. Got to put an ice on that in the morning.
Yeah.
Stab in the neck. Hey. My shoulder.
Oh.
So. Yeah, that trailer, like, recently, Penny Arcade also made a comic about it, which I think we were all thinking. It was just like the voice actress is just in the booth. And they're just like
making noises.
They're just like, now a lion is eating your face. Now you're on fire, and the actress is just like in the booth, like, what am I doing? Because the whole trailer is just sort of like, oh, ah, yee, doughy, you know, dwa. That's a little Duckman reference for you guys.
Wow.
But it's just like the whole trailer is her just getting banged up and shredded. Like she's like falling through a wrecked airplane, and then she's like, oof, that hurt a little. You're like, damn, son. Like, no healing pack helps that. Mm-hmm. I like the little part where Laura talks in the trailer. I like the part where Laura talks in the trailer. Wasn't she like on the walkie-talkie with someone?
Doesn't she say like, I bloody hate tombs?
Well, I doubt. There's actually not too many tombs to be rated so far. This is more of Uncharted. I was being sarcastic. Well, she did talk though, because she's like, "Don't worry, Beatrice, my friend who joined me on the plane. I'm coming to get you right before or after I stab all these blokes off in this mystical wonderland." And she doesn't like ask them for directions. She just stabs them.
Well, they probably would have lied.
Yeah, I'm like, we're building this whole shoot first, ask later culture where once we meet those characters, like all our passive characters shoot first and ask later. So when our like badass characters do it, we're gonna be like, well, I just did it. Like it's like these two guys walking around. He's like, and he's like, I shoot first and ask later, and I'm like, I do that always.
So does Billy.
Do your homework.
It's not time.
It's like, yeah, it's weird. You're like every character ever now. Like we're gonna have like it's kind of like there was something interesting when Dead Island came out. It was a zombie game, first person, but you know it's slow zombies ish, I think maybe. But you're basically on this like resort that just got zombie attacked, and so you're like
zombies.
So you're just like some of the last survivors. And there's an interesting thing where they said like the lead character, if you pick them, like certain ones, if you pick like one of the leads, she was like I don't know, flight stewardess or something. I don't remember what she was, but like. At the beginning of the game, her voice tracks is usually like very panicky and panting and stuff. But later on, as she gets accustomed to the game, you get into it, and she's just like more aggressive in her voice.
Oh.
So when you do attacks, it's not like stay back. It's more like Zor! And I'm just like, that's an interesting idea where your character gradually gets used to it versus like stabby from beginning.
That's a good thing.
You know.
Towards the end, she's laughing every time she kills
at the end,
something.
she'd just be like those characters in those weird animes where they lose their mind and all covered in blood, and they're like, ah! You know.
It's so creepy.
You know, and then I could pull out my Joker laugh and be like,
Jesus.
you know, like your lead character Lara Croft will just be like, it rubs the lotion. Just be like, she's bonkers bananas after all this.
She starts eating hearts.
Yeah, pretty much. You know,
wow.
She finally gets to her friend and she's like, you're not the Laura I knew. And she's like, she's dead. Give me your heart. You're like, wow. Tomb Raider went a whole different direction.
Wow.
She's like making tombs now. Buried alive. Laura!
Horrifying.
That'd be such a good twist on the franchise. You're like, whoa. That is different. And that's how Wreck-It Ralph should end.
Yeah. Blood.
We'd all be surprised.
He
learns from
Kano.
How? And everyone in the theater's like...
I gotta wonder too, because if Wreck-It Ralph is like a day job, like morning Sam, morning Fred kind of thing, is it like Mortal Kombat? The guy is just like, no, I can't do another one, and then like gets his neck ripped out of his head every time.
Yeah, they might like joke at that somehow, and they make it funny, like,
because it's...
oh Scorpion.
Like, I guess it doesn't hurt.
There's got to be a pun with "Get Over Here," where he's like, "Hey Ralph, can you zip me up?" And he's like, "Oh no, man, get over here." He's like, "Oh god."
Because, I mean, if his problems are he's kind of tired of the job, it's like he's not being killed and
Flux, if you're watching, can you please make today's drawing Scorpion saying, "Can you zip me up?"
Oh yeah, can you please make a little image?
I like it. If not, I'm going to draw it, because I have a tablet now, thanks to my family, who bought me a birthday gift. It's not a fancy thing like Katie's Crazy Cintiq, but I don't need one because I'm not an artist. But it is an Intuos tablet, and now I can draw on the computer, like everyone else. Flux Foxes say that again. I couldn't hear you over the laughter. It's Scorpion saying, "Can you zip me up?" And the guy's like, "No." And he goes, "Get over here." But like his blouse is a little loose. I was contemplating for a while actually, because I have, if you haven't checked it out yet, I've got a Tumblr, because I only start one new social media thing a year. This year's was Tumblr. And it's called Shaggy's Mind Sauce. So check that out. I usually just post basically the same stuff I post on Facebook. There's just like videos and pictures and just retweeting anything that's funny related to like animation and Korra and stuff. I was contemplating
Korra jokes.
Yeah. I was contemplating whether I should like load up like my own comic or something there.
Yeah, you should.
My question though is I gotta find a better template, because right now I'm just using a default where everything if anything's too wide, it squishes it. It doesn't shrink it.
Yeah,
it just goes.
Tumblr does not really have a good big.
But I just don't want to start a new website for things. So if I was doing like
actually, I think I can find you a template for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Find me it today.
Yeah. I'll look for what you say.
Right. Template. Template. It was basically I'm like, you know what? My life's full of shenanigans. Why don't I do a little webcomic with my amateur scribbles? Because in the end, it's the writing that matters when it comes to me. So if my drawings are not up to snuff, you'll be like, well, at least his words are witty. Yeah.
I'm still entertained.
As long as I actually type the words, if I draw the words by hand. Like I was trying out there, every time I put...
handwriting.
Well, every time I have an email open and I'm touching this tablet, it's like an Intuos, like Wacom. This little thing pops up, which is like, oh, you could do writing mode.
No.
And there's like cursive mode, and I tried doing it, and the words are like, and they're falling off the line. I'm like, okay, I'll do character by character. And all my T's are slanted, and it's making up words I'm not trying to say, and it's taking longer than typing. I'm like, this is stupid. Unless I'm trying to like sign a digital check or something, this is dumb. Online writing's stupid. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing it. So there you go. Master Self says, well, with XKCD being so popular, there is hope, I suppose. I don't think I could be as brilliant as that guy, because they're nuts. They're crazy. Mine would just be like, today I saw a thing. It was funny.
Well, I mean, if you make up some...
Basically, all the rejected shrub monkeys.
There you
go here. That'll be the name of my comic. Rejected
I mean, I could just draw you like one character that you can keep moving around.
Also, like
a
dinosaur comic kid, and I just like rewrite it every day. That'd be kind of fun. Let's see. Kellen says, "Oh, everyone who likes Korra should look at Atla annotated Tumblr."
Atla.
It goes over the Chinese history involved in Avatar.
Cool.
Interesting. I need to start. Webcomics says, one day when I finish university. Why? University is when you get the best stories. Like after university, your comic says, I hate work.
I know. You wonder why Show Monkeys doesn't update
Like every comic is
about, I hate work.
It's cubicle jokes. It's like, today Sam said something dumb about his kid. I hate work.
Okay, no, but you can make it entertaining.
I'm in animation.
Those people should quit.
Oh.
Not animation, but cubicle guy.
It would kind of die in the process, maybe. Really? I'm making comics? Nah, man, it's all about life. Like my latest example is reading Johnny Wander, which I didn't read online. Because if there's one thing you need to know about me, I don't enjoy reading comics online, mainly because I want to get away from the screen once in a while, and comics is my leisure time. So if you make a book, I'm way into reading your book. If you have an online comic, I'm waiting for the book. So I finally read the Johnny Wander books, because Katie picked them up at TCAF because they were there. And now I've read it, I wish I knew of them beforehand because I could have been like, I want to shake your hand. Because it's really fun, and it's just like simple, like 2-page jokes, or sorry, 2-panel jokes. They're all single page, mostly comics. And sometimes with 4 panels, sometimes 2 panels, sometimes 1 panel. You know, and like, you know, if depending on what you want to put more into your writing or your art, you can get them done pretty quickly, or you can spend a day on it, depending. Yeah. So, you know, find a simple... That's what I gotta do. I gotta, like, establish my simple style. I've been sketching forever, like dumb little doodles.
I also need to get a simple style because sometimes I just noodle forever.
Speaking of which, what are you doing here? Was this
I'm working on a commission.
No. Let's take a look-see. So this is our learning show?
It's in red, but it's something swordy or magic-y was the only direction I got. So I'm making kind of a witch character with a magic thing in her hand and a sword. I don't know how well you can see it because it's so red. Oh, am I supposed to give instruction now? So I draw with the pencil.
I put pencil on paper, and the friction between the two creates a line. I manipulate the lines of form images very similar to the things we see in real life, but modified as does my cartoony style.
Yeah. We should do a panel. I can have you describing my work.
Yeah, it'd be a panel called "I'm an Ass," and it's just me being like, "Well, you see, how I write is I put my fingers on the keyboard, and letters are generated by this process through electronic calculations of zeros and ones. And it fills a page. I press enter when I feel like the box is too big." People are like, "Hey, I'm like, but you're still here."
I know. I've got nowhere else to go. I have no friends.
Oh, mercy. But yeah, you know, there's a whole world of people with ideas and I wants.
Yes.
I want to do this, I want to do that, but sometimes later is always later, so sometimes you got to make later now.
Yeah, now is good.
Doesn't mean you got to do like your big dream project now. Like save that for later, but it's kind of like you should always be doing something. You know, because then when it's like, now it's time to do the big dream project, you could have learned so much along the way by your little somethings that would improve your dream project.
You learn a lot more by doing than by kind of sitting off and researching. And that stuff's important too, but a lot, like, making Silly Kingdom, we learned a lot.
Yeah, because like, I assume, like, your dream project, you want to be your best work, not your stepping stone work, I assume. So, do stuff on the way up to it to improve your craft and make your dream project your best project it can be. Because, like, if you know, definitely, like, you're always going to be learning from whatever you do. You know, like, we learned a lot from Silly Kingdom. And a lot of it I wish I knew beforehand. But we didn't do a book before that. You know, so Silly Kingdom became the test book. So at the same time, Silly Kingdom isn't my pan-ultimate dream project. It is a big project, but it's not like, this is what I've always wanted to do. You know, it's one of the big ones, but it's not the big one.
What's the big one?
I can't divulge that.
Do I know it?
Maybe.
Interesting.
Maybe not. Actually, you know what? You do.
Okay.
Yeah, you do. Actually, why did I even say maybe? You do.
Okay.
Wonder if we're ever going to do it.
Is it... I'm gonna ask
N.
this after.
Really?
Is it N?
Yeah, the letter.
It's not...
In a word. Don't say it. How could you not?
I know what it is.
I've been writing it forever. I've been writing it since high school.
I know exactly what it is.
Yeah. And it's animated.
Alright. Oh, okay. I was thinking, your name backwards.
No!
What?
I have nothing for that.
Did you used to have a Nebbits story?
No!
Okay, I know what you're talking about. That was like your... Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Sorry, this is, by the way, your podcast. The Guys with Pencils gave me a lot of tips.
Good.
If I make a book one day. Okay, yeah.
Good.
I won't bring up those again.
I'm glad we were able to talk about that stuff on the show.
Check out Guys with Pencils. Not even just about making comics, also about like shipping it, promoting it, but how to get it out there. Like shipping was a big learning curve for us. For me. Expensive curve too, actually. So check out, look up Guys with Pencils. I have no idea what episode it is, but it has us in it.
And you should check them all out too.
Yeah, check them all out. Just look up, go on your iTunes, you know, you hipsters with your friggin' iPhones.
Yeah, I believe they're also on Tumblr.
Yeah, they're tumbling. Every day they're tumbling. You can check out all the episodes. They got lots of great guests. Some episodes had like the Super Meat Boy guys. They got some guys during TCAF, I think. Check it out. Guys with Pencils. They know what they're talking about. They're also working in the industry, so they know your pain and your future. If you're looking to get into animation as a job, they could tell you straight up. Because, you know, we all, you know, whenever you go to those school things, it's like, oh, the world of animation is like, you want to know the real deal. And it's just a reality. It's not meant to be disheartening.
We're not trying to bring you down.
This is the truth of the animation industry, is it is hard work, and it's work that you won't agree with. Like, people want you to revise things because their job is to make sure they're making more work for people. Where it's just like, I better make sure I justify my position by saying, make his hat blue.
And there are some people that do that.
God.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. So there you go.
To draw this entire background from this perspective.
Or maybe you'll do it the other route. You start your own.
There was a story a friend of mine was telling me. I forget. I'm pretty sure someone told me. I didn't listen to it off a podcast, but it was someone who'd illustrated a car and made it perfectly rendered and spray painted and everything, like this beautiful airbrushed car, and showed it to the client. They're like, "Oh, it's good, but can you maybe like turn it a little bit?" This is like,
client's always right, because
in the end, it's they're paying you money to make their project.
Yeah.
But sometimes,
they'll keep adding things that aren't necessary, but it's what they want. Or they do that weird thing where they add so much and then start removing things. It turns into what you already gave them like 5 versions ago. Well,
that happened with our family. Like, our parents worked making mascots, and Dad was telling us a story about a client who was like, shave this off, like, because my dad would make the heads of the mascots.
Make this
smaller, make this smaller, shave this off, make this smaller, and then when they got to the final product, he was like, can you take it back to the way it was? And my dad's like, we've been carving pieces out of this.
It physically cannot do
that.
We'd have to like destroy it or like build it from scratch.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get on that business. Flexbox is something interesting. We moved our old webcomic to Tumblr before we paused it. I found it improved our viewership 40% within the first few posts.
I find anything I post on Tumblr, art-wise, gets a lot more views than all my blogs.
I think Tumblr is one of the easier things to retumble. Because if you have like a blog, like here's the one thing, like a lot of the web design was the problem, is a lot of people is trying to do like fancy, like Flash is pretty much dead on the web.
Yeah.
Sorry. A lot of people are trying to do fancy Flash sites, and the problem was it made it really hard to link to things. So if you had your comic and page 17 was really cool, and someone wanted to show their friend, the URL would just be my comic. It is a Flash page. Everything's embedded. So you couldn't share it. Where Tumblr and like even blogs to that extent, because to share someone's blog, you have to go all the way to the top and copy and paste. But Tumblr is basically, you just get to resend exactly how it is you saw it. Comments and everything, and then you get to share it exactly as it was, and the trail can lead back to you. Because say I post someone's comic, but I don't give their credit. Like it's that person lost the opportunity of like getting the link back. Tumblr is just like, there it is. So there you go.
Yeah, enjoy it.
And then you never get credit because Tumblr hates giving artists credit.
Well, some people reblog stuff, and
no doubt Tumblr's ability to not give credits. I mean, in the sense, like, usually when I retumble from someone, like, if I retumble from the origin, it says where it's from.
Usually the post will automatically make it so that their thing shows up.
Yeah, it's embedded. Like, the previous post is
it's not Tumblr, it's jerks that are going out of their way to...
Oh, yeah, there'd be people who would erase
your signature, take out that text. So, I mean, you almost have to find a way to embed your URL somewhere in your art.
Let's see, as long as your account is where everyone started reblogging, it's not so bad. It's Flexbox. Like, the other times, sometimes people just find your picture and post it, but they just don't know it was you. And so, like, they don't go out of their way to paste in the comment, like, they just post the image, and it's just, like, from you. So you, as the Tumblr, are the source, as opposed to the creator. So I often, like, do go out of my way to, like, post as much information I can underneath. Because, like, when you post a YouTube video, even the title doesn't show up, because the video is the tumble. There's no title for the video. So I usually repost the title in the comments just so you know what it's called. So you don't have to like click in and go to YouTube to read the title and stuff. It's weird. Orange Fruit is saying retumble. What is this word you're saying? Are you talking about reblogging? No, because Tumblr is kind of like a blog / Facebook, not Facebook, picture, retumble thing. Where tumble is the verb for when you reblog. So yes, reblogging is a little different though, because that usually involves copy, paste. Good to go. Well, tumbling is just like you read someone else's tumble, and you're like, oh, I want to share this to retumble, reblog, whatever. And I just think the word tumble's funny. Because I like to say, I'm a tumbling. That's what I want. Like if we get our webpage going, I want like our tumble logos to be us like tumbling over the tumble logo. We're like, it's like Shaggy's tumble, Katie's tumble, and we be tumbling.
Just as you mean the header?
Yeah. Just that'd be like the link for our Tumblr. Like, that's check, cute. We be tumbling. We're like, shit.
Oh no.
Also, you put an image in a Google search bar, it tells you where it's from. But yeah, so I might consider doing that because I wrote like some just short, dumb jokes, you might call them. Little, humorous anecdotes, lifestyle stories, non-depressing life stories.
We used to do photo comics on Uber Friendship.
We did, but that was a lot of work because we'd have to set up lights. Like the work of not drawing was replaced with the work of finding someone to use the camera, setting up lights and finding props, and then using Photoshop to make word bubbles. Yeah, so that's kind of what it is. And then kind of Tumblr is already a decent kind of format for comics because it's just vertical. Like it's alright because coming off of like the newspaper era, we all thought comics had to be like left to right, but computers by nature are scrolling devices. So it's like, why should we keep going that way when we can go downward? And Tumblr is kind of like preset to be like, as someone here says, Master Self says Lucky Star Shaggy Edition. Like the Japanese comic style of 4-panel verticals
straight down.
Works very well for Tumblr, as long as they don't squish it in because the template is stupid.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that.
Yeah, because I made those stupid Disney Create comics. Because if you look up Disney Create, it's basically this comic maker or poster maker or whatever, where you get access to all those like characters in a pose, and you could like resize it and flip it around and add word bubbles. Unfortunately, you got to be careful with your wording because they censor like everything. I couldn't say ball sack. I'm like, Disney.
The nerve.
Yeah, I know. So I had to say like ball, or something.
Kids find a way.
It was great. But yeah, it's like you can find a way around it. But it's like I made these Avengers comics because Disney owns Marvel now, so they had Avengers. I just made these stupid, but and they're fun to do. But the problem is whenever you put them on Tumblr squished them all. It didn't like just shrink them down, which would have been nice. It was like, I'm like, well, that's stupid. So I gotta find a new template because if I make my own comics, I don't want them to get squished. That'd be the worst. Worst of the worst.
You can make them like just super squishy anyway.
Well, at the very least, it should just be like a smaller image, and when you click it, it becomes a larger image. But I don't know why they didn't even go for that. Like it wasn't even clickable; it was just there. I don't know. Stupid. Maybe it's because I didn't upload it to Tumblr. I linked it to Tumblr. Like it wasn't upload a photo; it was like post a link that was a photo. And the difference is that if you have a text box and you link a photo, it'll just keep the scale or squish it. Versus if you upload it, it goes into the Tumblr system, and then they're like, oh, now we'll put it in multi boxes, and you can click them. It's fun. A tumble away. Holy hoo. They need a mascot. The Tumbler.
A creepy
the guy with
scarecrow.
like a top hat. He's like, I'm the Tumbler.
Just at random times during the day, he just spins across your screen. You're like, ah!
Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying the tumble.
Enjoy your Tumbler.
Even like my sound's off. How can I still hear him?
Random thought, did you see the trailer for Wreck-It Ralph? And yes, you were informed that you came back. Yes, we talked all about Wreck-It Ralph. We already figured out the ending. the two possible endings and the three not possible at all ending. Well, actually, there's two not possible at all endings. There was the forever wandering into the web alone. And then there was... Oh, no, there's four. There's like three. All right, we came up with two plausible endings. And like 3 or 4 they will never
Probably
do.
won't happen.
The endless wandering, the corrupt dying virus ending, the he goes apeshit nuts, starts tearing hearts out, and the theaters. We came up with a few endings to Wreck-It Ralph. And see, like even speaking of like making webcomics, this is like the material. You just talking with a buddy or like her, your relative.
So
You're talking to people and coming up with ideas. Like when we listened to like the Penny Arcade podcast, it basically was the thought process of them making a comic, and they were just talking and joking and drawing and saying, "How about do it like this?"
Yeah.
And in the end, it was cool for you to like see the comic and then go back and see how they got there, and you can see it start to form.
yeah, I like when you see the joke almost getting there and then about to go down a different route, and then finding this one that's just a bit funnier because it's totally different, and it's just the two of them throwing ideas out there.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like, even if you're like don't know like what ideas you want, if you're thinking you want to do like a daily or weekly comic, you're like, I'm not funny. It's like, you know what, just talk with someone. Mm-hmm. And honestly, the funniest people are the people you know in conversation, because people, so even people who you, in your mind are like, no, that's not really, he's not the funniest person. He doesn't like, he's in the life of the party. But every once in a while, just talking to people, they just come up with things that you just wouldn't think of. And it's hilarious. Use that.
Steal that from your friends.
Bring your friends. Bring your unfunny friends. Have a conversation. And it's just like, see where it goes, I'm not saying like do this with like intent or malice or like have a notepad like, all right, let's talk about the Avengers movie. Loki's helmet's funny, right? Look at that horns. He's a horny guy. Huh? Oh, God, a comic! Loki's horny! So it's like, it's that kind of thing. It's
I think Tumblr beat you to that one 1,000 times.
Oh, did they?
I don't know.
I never thought of it until now, actually. That's called being original. But it's that kind of thing where it's just like, you guys can come up with the craziest, weirdest stuff just by sitting there. Like, talk about movies you've seen, and then, like, if you think of, like, a funnier way it could have ended, make that your punchline. This is like, we're finally learning from the writer's side. Look at this.
There we go.
We used to, like, look at Katie John. Now you could focus on me for once on this show.
Yes.
Basically. So yeah, like even if you're not starting your comic right away, just start writing these things down, Just have a collection so you have like something to go to. That's what I do. For the future. For the horde. What's going on here? The chat's What else is going on? Let's jump back to Katie Cam. Nope.
Nope, doesn't want to.
No.
Don't feel like going to the drawing seat.
So you got magic happening.
Yeah.
Who's this for?
This is a commission for one of the Indiegogo people. Yes. I'm hoping to finish them all before the year anniversary of Silly Kingdoms Indiegogo.
What's the technical anniversary? Well, Silly Kingdoms Indiegogo started when? Was it June?
June 21st.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, it's been almost a year since we begged the internet for money.
How about that? And the comic came out when? Was it October?
It finally came out in October, although it was pretty much finished by Comic-Con.
June, July. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
Yeah, pretty happy with it. It was a fun comic.
Yeah. Second one's in the works. It's pretty much written. We'll just have to get working on that.
Yeah.
And make it magic, but you guys will enjoy it.
Yeah. It's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be pretty wacky.
I'm enjoying it. It's silly. It's got kingdoms. What else could you ask for? I do that thing where I check the time when I run out of things to talk about. It is 8:41.
And we're really hot in this room.
It is really warm in this room because it is summer now, even though it's raining.
Yeah.
And dreadful out here. Yeah, I don't know what else is going on. Unless you guys want to like ask us some questions, I can like teach you things.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'm just like.
This is your chance if you want to.
Yeah.
Because we never get back to emails.
It's your chance to ask the craziest questions. How do I get a job? And I'm like, that's what I want to know. Nope. No questions.
No questions.
Or if you're asking questions, the chat is frozen. Maybe you're asking questions.
The best questions.
Maybe this one. I'm just gonna mute. There. Load. Trying to think of one. Okay.
Ooh,
TV
one last thing. If anybody's interested in comic book making residencies,
right.
The ACA Atlantic Center for the Arts in Florida, the due date is June 8th, which I believe is... No, is it June 6th? It's either this Friday or next Monday. It's due soon, and you should apply because it's really fun. If
you want to join the residency, what does one do on a comic residency aside from hanging out in Florida?
Well, you're hanging out in Florida, and essentially you go down there. Depending on who the master artist you go to study under, you have different assignments. But when I was there, there was one group that they were all working on their own graphic novels. So if anyone knows Blue that came out from Pat Grant, that was a graphic novel he was working on down there, and then ended up getting published with Top Shelf, I believe. And yeah, so essentially it's just 3 weeks
Master Self says repeat the name.
It's the Atlantic Center for the Arts. I think that's the whole website.
And you get mastered by such names as...
I don't actually know all the...
Well, last year.
Well, last year it was Paul Pope, it was Craig Thompson, and Svetlana Shmoka.
Paul Pope from Such Fine Books.
I love Svetlana.
Wasn't that a book?
Last
name?
100%.
Steel, liquid,
liquid metal.
Liquid metal and some Batman, right?
Wait, no, it's not liquid metal. It's liquid. Heavy liquid.
Heavy liquid.
Batman, Year 100. No.
I'm glad you know your masters.
Whole bunch of stuff.
Craig Thompson, of course, from Blankets. And the more recent
Habibi.
And Svetlana
Dramacon.
from Dramacon. And
Night School.
Night School. Any hunky books you've been picking up and deliciously reading?
Exactly.
I'm just assuming, because I'm a horrible person, that it's hunky stuff in there.
Yeah.
It might not be. It might just be like crazy. Someone pulls a hard one. She went that route before even I got
No,
there.
it's nuts.
She's like, let us end this the way no one will expect.
I love Svetlana.
It's like, well, that shoujo went weird.
That was totally unexpected little romance.
Well, that was strange. I guess she got his heart in the end. Comic idea. See, that's what I mean. It could be, here's their setup. First page, you got typical shoujo girl being like, I will soon have your heart. And the guy's like, meh. And then the third page is, hang. And then you have like a little girl reading the comic, like, 4-panel comic. It's that easy.
No, the punchline is like this whole lineup in an artist alley with all these cute, like, happy girls, like, selling books. And then you sitting there with your beard.
Oh,
scary.
The punchline is, this is my book. And I'm just there like, why does no one want it? Yeah.
And this is why nobody approaches you at our table.
Yeah, see?
Because you look insane.
See, there you go. And this is the workshop portion of it where we discuss better endings. So, like, that's a better that's a different, 2 different ways to go. Instant reaction or the more like, this is why no one comes to our table.
No, this is why it's good to pitch your ideas. Because, I mean, you can sit in a vacuum and that's something too. I mean, sometimes you don't always want to share everything because sometimes other people have their influence over it and maybe you want to keep it your idea. But sometimes people can really help you come up with a really good idea, just plus your idea. So, you know, I
tend to be
I get nervous about, you don't like people seeing stuff.
I'm a little protective.
Yeah.
And it's bad and it also sounds kind of typical. People be like, it's not really like, no, my way. But it's more like, for me, it's usually like, you don't know what it's like until you see it done. Like in script form, I feel like my vision is only like 70% done. Because without the accompaniment of the art and the formats and the layout of the page, it's like, this is just words right now. Like you don't see how big her mouth is when she's yelling. You don't see what expression he has. Because like,
how goofy it is.
I was just reading a script recently, and it's just like sometimes it's like you're not entirely sure what they mean by what the characters say unless you see their face. And I know as the writer, you know what their face looks like, but unless they wrote down that script, he said with a raised eyebrow and a smile. Because if the guy's just like, all right, let's say like war elephants are coming, and the line is, "Here we go." Is it like loading the gun like, "Here we go," or is it like, "Here we go," or is it like, "Yay, here we go"? Like it's 3 completely different intents. The exact same word. Is it sarcastic? Is it anger? Is it fear? Is it excitement? You know, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? And so that's kind of one of the tricky things about my writing is I feel like the intent of everything would take so long to explain because I have a very particular
get that.
way.
That feels more like delivery on lines that you're saying about lines that you don't even want input on because it's good the way it is. But I mean, like in terms of, you know, even like Pixar's Brain Trust, where it's like whole entire plot points will just get flipped around. And I work in an industry that does incredible. That. You know, I mean, working in animation, it's like people will totally yay or nay like a vein you're trying to go down for a story point. I mean, not so much in TV because the script's there and you've only got 5 weeks to get this board out because animation has to start because it has to be on TV by this date. So there's not a lot of chance to do that. But
I probably have a bit of a skewed perspective of how things get done because I often am either convincing enough or annoying enough that I get my way. But it's not like,
no, because I'll be like, hey, I think I've got a better idea. And you won't like anything. You just, and that is infuriating because I'm like, just listen.
No, it's not like that. But no, it's not like, it's more about when what the suggestion is completely changes the intent of the scene, and that would trickle down and change the intent of the whole story. You know, with the latest Silly Kingdom, I had a point which I was like, let's do this, and you were like, no, and that was fine because it didn't work. It was something I came up with, but you know, one of my things. So you shot that.
In us having that little session, we came up with an extra gag.
Oh yeah,
that we threw in.
That was good.
That might not have shown up if I hadn't brought that idea that you vetoed. So it's good to just throw stuff against the wall.
Oh yeah. I'm still learning.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Look at me. I'm open to suggestions. But there's some things when
it's
like
good to
when
be
some suggestions. All right, let's put it this way. It's good to hear suggestions. You don't always have to act on them. But
Yeah.
even
Because-
even us just talking about making a simple 2-panel comic, the conversation will generate more things. Like me just saying, and the ending is the girl sees the bug and is like, and that generated another ending for you, and I might like that ending better, which I did.
And at the end of the day, though, it is your...
You hear that?
Yeah.
I liked it better.
Yeah.
You had a good idea.
Thank you. Thank you. But at the end of the day, it is your idea. So, sometimes you just have to not listen to what anyone else will say because it's your project. So
I'm going to put it this way, though.
There are 100 ways to tell your story. At the end of the day, it's your story. So you really have to...
There's 100 ways to tell it, but if you can legitimately back up why, though. If your answer is because...
Yeah, and also, too, with Silly Kingdom, it's like I have a percentage of input because I'm going to be drawing this.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I'm not
That's
some
why
random...
I say 70% of my story
Yeah,
is script.
I'm not like some random person that's like, well, why don't you take these characters and do this? It's like, we are a partnership, it makes more sense for me to have input on some stuff. But,
Like, for the most part, I am kind of like the director of Silly Kingdom in that sense. But like I definitely do say
veto power.
I half of the visual humor isn't like pretty much most of the visual humor is yours. Like I don't write. I always refer back to if you haven't read Tatterhood yet in the cautionary tales and fairy tales.
You can find it cfft.big.
There's one panel where it's just like the scene is the living room and people are doing stuff. That's kind of like what I wrote because it's just like it's Christmas. And Kay just draws Tatterhood fighting her goat, like they're like wrestling.
Yeah.
I didn't write that. Like I didn't write and Tatterhood's wrestling her goat. I just said people are in the living room at Christmas, and it's just like go to town basically. Like I don't write everything 100% locked because it's just like there's always room for change. And the art is, don't get confused by me saying 70% of my story is in the writing and like the art is like the remaining 30% of it. Right? What I'm saying,
I'm like,
in my
at the drawing
sense,
space.
me, as far as a writer, me telling you my story, it is 70% just script because the rest is going to show up when the art influences it. As far as the comic overall, I'm not saying my writing is 70% and the art is the rest. It's just personally, when I'm telling a story, just the writing version isn't complete even when it's a full script because there's a lot more that the art will influence in me, even explaining.
It's not a novel, so...
Yeah. So... I'm not saying my writing is 70% of the comic. That's in my terms, showing my works to people. It is 70% of the final product. Not. It's kind of hard to explain. It's two different perspectives.
Well, it's when someone's reading your script, it's like, you need to see it final.
Because I'm not gonna say when they read my script, like, oh, this is only 20% of the final
like
product, because the rest is the layout.
Yeah, when you pitch your story, it's like you want to show the rough
yeah.
comic pages. You don't want to just show script.
Yeah, because then it's like he runs down the hall and it's funny. It's like, man, it doesn't look funny to me in the script. Like, for God's sake, you gotta see how he's running.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's hilarious. Like, that's basically what I feel like. And that's why I'm always very timid about reading other people's scripts. Because I, in my own mindset, know that it's not complete. So how can I assume that everything you've written is everything you want me to see? Because I could be like, well, I guess it's funny. It's like, oh, no, you gotta see how it is. And so I assume everyone is writing incomplete in a way. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, you give me a script, I'm like...
I feel like every project is incomplete because it's like, you know, you can... What is it? There's something my teacher used to tell me that was like, projects aren't finished, they're abandoned, because there's a certain point where it's like, you just need to hand it in, it's the deadline, you could do so much more to it if you had time, but sometimes you just need to hand it and be done.
When you do have time, you can say, all right, I'm happy with this ending, but there's other times where you're just like, this project's been going on forever, and I can keep updating it with more modern sensibilities every year.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, you gotta cut it off at some point, or else it'll just never be shown. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unless you want this to be like your grandmaster work at the age of 80 and be like, I finally released the funniest comic ever. And like, what's this Snooki reference? Damn it!
It was really funny back in the day.
You had to understand, there was a program on the television. It was called Jersey Shore. It was a wonderful place.
A magical place. Full of dreams.
Those young whippersnappers. Their eyes bright. Their muscles greasy. God, I wish I was there with them now. And then it's like the end of Titanic, where then he's there because he died, and then
did he write a Jersey Shore fanfic for like 60 years? He's like, why didn't they pick me?
My opus his life's work.
Maybe now they will accept me.
Oh man, at the end of Titanic, he sees them all there. And they're like bowing.
On the Titanic.
Oh my god.
That's some nightclub.
That's amazing.
Sad.
Jersey Nursing Home. That is my fanfiction. So there you go.
Done.
Single panel comic. Jersey Nursing Home. Whack-a-dee-doo. And he just posted on. And the people who be like, oh, I like Jersey Shore. I will share this with my friends. The comic gets spread. It gets tumbled. We see the effect. We see the shot of the world. And this comic spreading like a virus.
On the parts of the world that have Tumblr.
Yes. So, I was trying to make it. It skips over Orange Fruit Zero's house because you don't have Tumblr, right? That was a reference.
Was that a
earlier?
good? Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for calling you.
That just got really awkward.
I just made. Oh. And this is why we discuss these jokes. And then we're like, we're not gonna send the show.
We're not
we
gonna
don't
call
talk
it
about the
Orange
Tumblr situation.
It's really sensitive right now.
All right. When I asked if you guys had questions, then we just went and buck wild. Did
anybody ask us anything?
We got a few actually
okay.
for a while. So should we just try to rapid fire these ones, or is it almost?
Yeah, let's rapid fire it. Okay.
So we ask these questions.
As long as they're not too complicated.
How far up was it? Repeat the name. Blue nose. Remember hearing. I'm trying to think of one question. How do you format your comic script writer? I think writer people would like to know. So Flexbox says, how do you write your comic scripts? I write them very much like radio plays, actually. Which is like, where the hell do you get that reference? A radio what? A what do you?
What?
A play-o-ray?
Can you tumble it?
Let me try this. So if you ever were in radio class, or if you picked up the books for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the radio play, the script, whatever.
Do you have
that? I tend to write kind of my format would be anything action or something I do in the parentheses. So it's kind of name. Was it semicolon the two here? Colon, semicolon?
Dot.
So name, colon, and then how they say what they're going to say. So angrily, or he picks up the sometimes I'll put the description of them in their dialogue thing up here. So name in bold, maybe. Description of what they're doing or saying right that moment, and then under their dialogue. Then I'll go down. If there's an action in between, I'll indent. It's kind of separate. So if it's door kicks open, so you'll kind of see it separately. Back down, name, what they're doing. Surprised! And then they go, how did you get in? So that's that format. There's a lot of different formats you can do for scripting. I even have this book about, I think we talked about this briefly, it was comic artist scripts and comic scripts, and it was each one was drastically different. Some people had all little TV does, which is usually name, what they say, name, what they say, name, what they say. And there's software you can buy for this. There's Final Draft scripting software with a lot of presets.
I find as long as you can make it really easy to read, that's the best. We met someone at VanCaf who was an artist working with her who he described getting scripts as prose.
Oh yeah, he wrote it it was.
Yeah, you'd be getting. I don't even have it. It's any book. I don't have a book handy.
We have the Sisters Brothers.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's your comic script, looking, The harbor at first sight, I did not understand it. There were so many ships at anchor. This is, but you'd be getting your dialogue and you'd be getting all.
Well, say you're an artist and you get this, and you're so what?
Yeah, so it's you have to read it all and then.
You definitely want to mess novel-like. You want to make it as obvious. Even if you're not I will I don't really even write page breaks anymore because I don't know how long you're going to want to draw.
That's the tricky thing. I've been.
I used to do that, but I don't anymore.
I like working because you a lot of times will let know what flows best for a page and for story. I feel most any good writer would let you be flexible with that. Works best with the project.
Sometimes
people have approached me though to work on comics and look at a script that's every single thing described in each panel and what panel looks like, and I don't really love that. Yeah. Well, because then it becomes some storyboard scripts where it's if I'm not given any freedom to do anything but just pretty much put a stick figure for what your exact thing is, I'm not having a lot of fun with it because it's not creative. I
think the only time I ever write page 1 or 2 is if we have a page limit. If you have 12 pages, so in my mind, what do I want on this page? Beyond that, the only time I mention panel, I'm just it's a joke and the pause takes 3 panels. It's staring at him 2 panels and then he says something on the third.
Yeah.
Because it's funnier because
usually
the only time I really
once you got the
panels.
rough pages out, you can argue whether this should be taken out, this should be pushed over. But sometimes when it's so tightly in the script stage, and it's like maybe the script isn't accounted for certain visuals you need, it's like you have space to tell you the story visually because it's all just giant word bubbles everywhere, and we've only got pages to work with. But no, that's why I like working with you.
All right. So where did it come from?
What's that, a flux box?
I wish I could mark this thing. This chat is ridiculous.
It jumps, right?
Remember hearing that fascinating? This is the worst. Here's a question. All right, so don't have a passport. Go get a passport. Streaming program we're using. We're using Ustream. Sucks.
Ustream.
Amazing.
We're open to suggestions because we don't like the commercials.
Is it hard to plan a wedding? Says Black Ice Angel.
Yeah. Actually, it shouldn't be too hard. But there's one simple rule. It's called stay the hell away. You let the bride pick everything. I don't like that rule.
He's turning this over.
See, because I like collaboration, and also I'm very finicky. I was never one to throw giant parties, so we like to keep things easygoing. So I like help.
Okay, good.
I'm not a bridezilla. I'm good. To, not to say if you want to, you are.
Oh yeah, go nuts, bridezilla.
Yeah, it's.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Something about a smile looks demented. Something about a blue nose. We're hearing this, very fascinating. What's a good way to analyze a comic to learn it? Well, did you enjoy it?
Firstly,
and what was wrong with it?
Yeah.
You know.
And if you did, what things did you like best?
Like, it's sometimes usually hard to pick your favorite things because you're like, oh no, it just worked.
I think it's something some favorite comics that I really enjoy. It's the flow is so good that I'm not even lingering over panels. And I mean, they can be beautifully drawn, really nicely drawn panels, but you're just
like Blade the Immortal. You're like, look at that. You're like,
but I mean, that's good too because you shouldn't unless it's you shouldn't be held up by the. And that's why I like getting French comims because I can't read it, so I'm staring at the panels and the beautiful art. Yeah. And when I'm able to translate it, finally, that extra story enjoyment.
It's pretty much the same with movies. Like, if it was wrong, if you didn't enjoy it, can you explain why? The last thing is that guy who's just like, it was bad. It sucked.
Yeah.
All the internet.
Well, I don't know. Have you ever listened to or read the Hulk reviews?
Not too bad.
Essentially, it's like reviewing movies in caps, all in caps. I mean, he's got some really smart. There was one where he met Quentin Tarantino, and Tarantino taught her hate any movies because as a young guy he went and saw Kill. He came up to talk to him afterwards, and they really hit it off, and they were just chatting. And then he was talking about some movie he hated, and Quentin was like, "Don't do that. Don't hate any movies. If you hate a movie, you're not going to learn from it.
Yeah.
And it's not your movie. It might not be for you.
Avoid it.
But just like, oh, that sucked. Then it's like there's no dialogue. Every movie's a gift. No one wants to make a shitty movie. Everybody wants to make. It might not work.
Always hoped for the best while making.
But there's got to be stuff in there you can.
This is a weird tax break. I'm assuming someone.
Yeah.
Kind of like it's just like that. So when you read your comics, think of what worked and what didn't. Like it sounds like the obvious answer, and it is. It's obvious because it is the answer. Mm-hmm. It's just why did I not enjoy this awkward rooftop Batman Catwoman sex? Well, because awkward, first of all.
But if you like humorous,
his face
awkward,
was like
he had no expression, and
he may as well be a rotting corpse she was mounting. So basically, understand your hate, channel it, and use it like a kamehameha to make better things.
But I mean, in terms of good understanding, I mean, it's tricky. I mean, just. Does it flow well? Was that right? Is the acting good? Like, are you?
The layout,
do you believe the acting? Do you actually emotion? That can be really hard because sometimes
it's hard to mimic.
Some comics it's like they're well drawn, but maybe they're not as emotive as other. Really feel just what this character's feeling. We always like to example with Mail, where it's like it's a horror comic that actually makes us go whoa.
I'm gonna call Mail that is pretty much. I'm getting chills thinking about it. It's the only comic I freaked out when I turned.
Yeah, we turned the page and
this is opposite medium. It's a book.
You turn the page and it would be the spread, and you wouldn't see something, and then you'd see this character in the corner that's terrifying and amazing. amazing.
It is. I've never had that happen in any comic ever.
He uses the mat and the story.
He leads you up to it, and then it just hits, and there's no word bubbles, the page spread, and you freak out at a comic
and his
book.
drawings. Or your page and something staring at you, and you're like, ah! Like, it's so well done.
You don't like it. No. But check out Mail.
Yeah. We like
M-A-I-L.
that one's really good for
it's got a cool lead character. It's got some great twists. Very disturbing.
It's very dark.
If you don't like...
Yeah, it's pretty... It's pretty gruesome.
Yeah, but it's worth it as far as analyzing. Like, I don't even know how he does
analyzing horror.
I'll probably never do it. I'm not a horror
and a good
writer,
reveal.
But maybe I'll reveal something. What else do we have going here? Remember editing. Here's a question for Kate. TV dinner. How often do you find yourself stuck between page layouts? Difficult to find the right way to play out a story.
Page layouts. Page layouts. Do you mean in the laying out all the panels or backgrounds?
You'll have to get back to you on that. Black Ice Angel says one of the good communities to talk to other people about the story ideas that I have to make better.
I'd say a trusted friend.
Yeah,
I wouldn't see internet
unless you already know this. And it's not even a matter of like thievery and stuff. It's just like who are they to tell you how to fix it? Like you basically, it's kind of like you read a reviewer. You understand what they like. So if this guy hates summer blockbuster movies, his review of Battleship, I know, isn't going to like, oh my god, check it out. He's going to be like, here go explosions for the masses. I'm going to watch this friggin' Wes Anderson. This is me. And meanwhile, so I'm going to think, well, Battleship must be fair. Like, I could have gone and had a fun time with my friends. I'm like, oh, I know the plot sucks horribly and stupid. I don't expect that reviewer to do that. So the same thing with waiting. If you're sharing your scripts and ideas with people who like, they hate vampire romance, and that's kind of the core of your comic, they'll be like, the first mistake is there's too much
making a comic
romance.
Can
we have less of that and more of not that? And you're like, why am I on the web at all?
So good communities.
So
we're lucky that we made friends through Flight that I trust, because they're
asshole community.
Flight doesn't, and they're all comic creators. So if there's something I'm not sure about, I can show them work and get some honest feedback from other creators. Otherwise, like, I think we bounce ideas off of each other.
Yeah, usually.
Ideas off of my little sister. I find Heather's pretty honest. Yeah, also, because everybody likes entertainment. So, I mean, honestly...
There's a few people who are like, I hate to laugh.
Yeah, because everybody, pretty much we all have pretty similar... I know, that's sad. We have pretty similar...
shouldn't laugh about the poor man.
We have pretty similar experiences when we see a movie. Yeah. I mean, you might get something different from it, but...
Saboteur, I hated it.
Okay.
That's the only divide. Otherwise, we agree on everything else.
You must
we
have
love the original trilogy. You hate the
Okay. You totally
and Lord of the Rings was boss.
Okay. Most people like me, so I mean, you just find a trusted friend whose opinion you agree with on a lot of stuff. You like a lot of the same movies, you like a lot of the same books. I mean, essentially, when you're making a story for yourself too. So see what they have to say on that.
There's also check your target audience. Like if you're writing books for kids and you're showing it to a kid, they don't get it, and you're like, it's funny. Just look at it. Just buy it.
Something there.
You know, maybe you want to like check. Example, like if you have younger cousins and you intend to be writing for like children's,
talk to children's.
Talk to the children's. Because they will basically give you the honest reaction of all people. Children aren't going to care about your feelings.
Yeah, at the same time, if you have your marriage breaking up, don't share that with the children.
Cousin, remember Auntie Monique? Well, she was a whore. Now read this comic and understand. And she's like, Uncle, you're so deep.
Yeah.
I never knew.
Like, Uncle, get over it, you sad sack. Yeah. Find your right audience.
What's the 4-year-old? Sad sack. Oh my god. That's great.
Kids are pretty rough these days.
Yeah, that's why they have all those like kids reactions to videos from the Fine Bros or whatever. It's like, damn. There's some really cute ones though. You're watching the Avengers and the kids are reviewing it, and they're just like, one was just like, there should be like zombie butterflies fighting like unicorn something. Where did that even come from? It's the Avengers.
Amazing.
Kids are pretty
Can you see
incredible.
why this wouldn't probably work? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it would.
Let's see. Is there any other questions up there? It is 9:08. Wrap up by 9:30 at the latest. Mm-hmm. These are good. These are actually drawing good thoughts.
Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying this.
What am I looking at? Where was that last question? I'll keep referencing back to Flux. And then the chat changes. Say something entertaining. What was that question you didn't answer? Maybe it was
it was about layout.
Alright. Have you ever been stuck on layout? I'm gonna look for the next question, but go for it.
Well, if it's about backgrounds, definitely. The best way to figure out, you do not want to go in doing detail first at all. The best thing to do is just doodling out the rough composition and a thumbnail. I'll just do it over and over again until I can find a layout or a composition that works really good for a panel. So that's why when you do your comic, you thumbnail first. I do the same with storyboards. The first pass nails, it's rough. You're trying to figure out what works the best, how on TV especially, because in comics you can break the access and turn a page, camera, wherever, but with TV I have to be very aware of where everybody is seen, so where I'm cutting isn't confusing. So when I know where the characters are, it's got to make sense through all the scenes, it's got to make sense through all the cuts, and the best to keep track of that is, just doing thumbnails, make it all works. A lot of times, Jerry, when he storyboards, he'll do it on sticky notes, so he can take off and move order around and make sure things work. Backgrounds, I get stuck a lot because I'm not really that strong at doing backgrounds. It's one of the things I'm more weak at that I need to get better at. I find that helps when you research. You get a lot more of making backgrounds. What are we doing?
I think the rest of just respond to the first question.
Oh, okay.
So, I have everything.
We're about done?
Yeah, I want to know what you're working on, so let's jump over.
Okay, no, I just finished penciling a commission.
Say the pants today, not
Can we see this? Right, so she's like a witch wizard.
Witch wizards.
Witch. With a magical sword cane. Yeah.
I am the last of the witch wizards.
The witch wizard, which was sold.
See, here we go.
Flippy cape.
The last of the... I wrote something else down.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know what it was. Witch wizards. I think that's a funny statement. The inspiration comes from all places.
Yeah, I'm getting lots of ideas.
That's just about everything said and done.
Mm-hmm.
The second Shaggy Reacts video. What? Something about a Shaggy Reacts video. Oh dear.
See,
I've had those before. Who made that first one?
That was my
the
first
Shafts video?
He took the Comic-Con, first year Comic-Con.
The first on tour.
And edited it so it's just him laughing through the whole thing.
And I just got... Because I just laugh at everything.
Because it's half an hour of whoa, like cutting randomly.
And me looking at things making stupid noises. I think the one that kills me though is when I'm laughing at the baby. Because it's just like, what? In what context is he just laughing at a baby?
Junie's really cute.
He's a cutie. But yeah. Well, I'm not making that video, so you guys go nuts if you want to do that.
Yeah.
You spell that horror comic. Oh, how do you spell that horror comic? I think we answered it before.
Mail. As in sending mail.
As in the postman Pat and his black and white cat. And on that note,
evil ghost.
Y'all's gonna go to them webinets and buy them cautionary fables perfect. Got good stars in the buttload of riding with everyone's favorite stars.
Plug this one now.
Down never go to kingdoms. You like the kingdom ain't quite silly enough yet. Well, you get some tell you what, you're gonna have a silly time all the time. It's a birthday party. He ain't no witch wizard, he's a pole wizard. He's gonna be here at my birthday. And king, queen, princess, and the pie and a cake. And it's a cake of a good time. Go on and go see so you can go and come on down to SillyKingdom.com yourself. So the kingdom. You can also get the digital PDF for $4, or you can get the full printed Wazmataz edition. It says it's right here, signed and everything, with pen on paper. And it could be yours, it could be your friends, it could be your enemies, it could unite worlds. No promises, but anything can happen. Any dream will do, as Joseph in the Magic Dream Code would say.
Is that all our plugins?
Yeah, I think so. Nothing else.
Okay.
Well, I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy your E3 coverage. This just in. this show was over. And
Nice.
no.
No.
Oh God.